Okay, live stream is now live. Refresh the page, hashtag subscribe. This video is sponsored by Eldorado High School. That's a bad sponsor, you say? All right, let's get started. First thing you're going to do, you're going to make a new blueprint called waypoint. You turn that down. Everybody go to add new. Not coming up. So click add new, green button, bottom left. Blueprint class, choose actor. That's how you make a new blueprint. Add new, blueprint class, actor. We do actor most of the time we're making a blueprint. You're going to name this blueprint waypoint. You don't have to open up this blueprint. We're actually not going to put any code on this blueprint whatsoever. No code goes on waypoint. Waypoint. So add new, blueprint class. All right, add new. So add new, blueprint class, actor. Name it waypoint. Don't open it up. Add new, blueprint class. Name it waypoint. All right, what you are going to do is open up your NPC blueprint. So click on your NPC, hit Edit Blueprint, open Blueprint Editor. Add something called Waypoint, an blueprint class, actor. Okay, so open up your NPC's blueprint, and then once you've opened that up, go back to your world. Here's what I want you to do. This blank blueprint called waypoint, I want you to drag a few of them into your world. So drag in a few waypoints into your world. Drag like 6 or 7 or 9 or 10 waypoints into the world. So you made a new waypoint, right? You made a new waypoint. Now, click on content. Drag 6 of them. Any number you want. Restaurant now.
I'll catch a flash. I like them. I change a little better.
All right. Okay. Okay. So you dragged out a few waypoints to your world. Here's why we're doing this waypoint system. We could code it so the NPC just goes to any random area in the world, just picks a random point. But here's the thing. That's not very believable. The way people work is they go to points of interest. Like, for example, this room. Most of you have never been to the back of the room. Okay? But the back of the room is as valid a place in this level called classroom as right here or there, right? But when you enter the classroom, you always go to a point of interest. You usually go to that door, front door, back door, and you go to, of course, your seat, maybe the front desk right here. These are all points of interest, waypoints. What we're going to do with these waypoints, drag into your world, is you can put them in locations that would be necessarily interesting for an NPC to go to, right? Maybe it's a medieval fantasy world. You put a couple waypoints by the well, okay? And the NPC is going to go to that well, that kind of idea. So these waypoints are possible locations for the NPCs to go to. All right, now we're going to get to the coding part. Everybody on your NPC blueprints on the graph here. Right-click on an empty area of graph. We're going to do a custom event. So on your NPC, look up custom event. Name the custom event AI Wander. Right-click on an empty area of graph. We're going to do a custom event. On your NPC, look up custom event. Name the custom event AI Wander. Custom event, AI Wander, all of our NPC moving around the world code is going to live in this custom event. All right. Drag off of this custom event and look up get all actors of class. Get all actors of class. That's the name of the node. This is very useful. Get all actors of class gets all of the instances of a certain blueprint type in your whole level. Okay? So you can get all the static meshes. You could get all the NPCs. Get all the third-person characters. Or in this case, get all of the waypoints. So where it says select class on get all actors of class, change that to waypoints. We're looking for all the waypoints in the world. Get all actors of class gets all of the waypoints in the whole world, and it spits it out in the form of an array, right? An array, a list variable. That's why you see this waffle icon. Remember that? It's used for arrays. So it's going to spit out a list. We're going to do something with that in a second, but the next thing I want you to do is drag off the sideways triangle on get all actors of class, and now look up AI move to. AI move to. AI move to is a really useful node. It sends your NPC from one place to another. It sends a character from one place to another using AI. It has a few settings on here. First one says pawn. Does anybody know what they mean by pawn? Pawn is like a character, right? The pawn means, huh? Like a character's pawn, yep. In this case, saying, hey, what character, what pawn is doing the moving? Who's moving in this case? The NPC. Where are we coding this currently? The NPC. So it's the NPC itself that's doing the moving, right? So drag off pawn, type in self. Get a reference to self. So drag off pawn, look up self. Hey, we're not doing that right now. Destination, that's the coordinates in the world that you could send it to. We're going to skip that. And instead what we'll do is we'll choose target actor. We're going to send it to a specific target, which is going to be a waypoint. That waypoint is going to be a randomly selected waypoint. So what I want you to do is drag off of this out actors. And when you want to get an item from a list, get something from an array, you type in get. Drag off the out actors and look up get. We're going to do get to copy. All right, get, and you choose get a copy. That's what it's called, but get. All right, get has a number here. This is the number, which waypoint you're getting. Which waypoint are we getting? We want to be random, so drag off of this green circle and look up random. And choose random in range. Drag off and look up random and choose random in range. Okay. Random in range is useful because it gives you a random number between a minimum and a maximum. What are we going to leave minimum at? 0. Yep. What about maximum? You say 5,000, but what if we only have 10 waypoints in there and it chooses random number 2,285? There's no waypoint for that. So then you're going to get an error. Your NPC is not going to know what to do. So now you're saying the amount of waypoints. Well, what is the amount of waypoints? It's different for all of us, right? We all drag out a different. If you dragged in 6, it's going to be 6. If you dragged in 10, it's going to be 10, right? Now, what we could do is put in 6 or 10 or 15, count up all the waypoints in our world. But that's not very useful because later on you might be designing your level and you want to add more waypoints. You make a new place where you want an NPC to go. So you might copy and paste more waypoints. Then you would have to go in this code and remember and count up all your waypoints and put them back in the maximum, right? That's too much work. Instead, we can do a dynamic way where it doesn't matter if we have 1 waypoint, no waypoints, 10,000 waypoints, 50 waypoints. It will always be accurate. The way to do that is to ask for the length of the list. How big is that array? How many items are in it? And plug that into the maximum. So that becomes the maximum. So drag off of out actors and look up last index. Last index. And you're going to plug in last index into max. So drag off out actors. Look up last index. Last index means, hey, what's the last number in that array? If you have 42 items in the array, it's going to spit out the number 42. So that becomes your maximum number in that array. Now, where it says target actor on our AI move to, what are we going to plug into target actor? Number in that array. Huh? Yeah, you're plugging get into target actor. Exactly. What are you plugging into target actor? Hey, Michael, are you turning that up to be obnoxious, or are you actually meant to listen? You can't hear? Okay, so we got AI move to. The next thing it says is acceptance radius. This number here says 5. Let's change it to 100. The reason is it means 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters is too small. Basically what it means is that guy's going to try and get within 5 centimeters of the actual object. It's just too small. It'd be better if we did 100 centimeters. And that way, he kind of just needs to be in the general area of the waypoint, and then it says, okay, he's there. Once he does get there, on success will be fired. On success will be fired. We want to re-trigger this event to happen again, so he looks for the next waypoint once he reaches his destination, so that the whole thing loops. He's always changing his mind about where to go. We're going to recall that event, but before we do that, why don't we add a delay? And the delay will make it so that he waits a certain number of seconds there at that waypoint. So drag off on success and look up delay. Drag off on success and look Drag off on success and look up delay. All right, so you've got delay on there. Delay, let's delay by a random amount of seconds. So drag off of duration and type in random. You're going to choose random and range. All right, you've got delay on there. Delay, let's delay by a random amount of seconds. Oh, not that. And type in random. Random and range. Random, float, and range. Random floating range. All right, random floating range is between a minimum and a maximum. Let's set the maximum to whatever number you want, 10, and the minimum you can set to whatever you want. I think I'll do 1. So between 1 and 10 seconds, how long he'll be waiting there before we trigger the next part. All right, what you want to do is drag off delay and recall your custom event. So drag off delay, I think that's Ms. Crowley. We're going to look up AI wander, and that'll complete the event. So drag off delay and look up AI wander. And we have Ms. Crowley.
Hey guys, how are you? All right, I'm going to take 3 minutes of your time. I know you guys are busy doing things that I can't even think about trying to do. You're way smarter than I am. Okay, tomorrow, Mediana, you guys are all going to take the CTE end of course for digital games. Okay? Can you like move that for a second? Thank you so much. Has anyone ever taken a CTE test before? Awesome. Okay. It's on the computer. It is 100 questions. You will have 60 minutes unless you are allotted extra time, which there's a few of you, and I'll let you know who you are tomorrow. Nothing to be nervous about. Pretty simple. You'll come on in. We are going to do all the testing in the 800s. It's kind of quiet, except for announcement time. I need to figure out how to cover that speaker up super loud. Anyway, you'll either be in room 801 or room 810. They're right across from each other. Myself and Mr. Osler will be proctoring the test. Like I said, you come in, it's on the computer, you log in. When you're done, hit submit. Your results are automatic. It'll tell you how you did. And then next week, I will come back in here, give each of you your results. You'll see it on the screen, but we don't have a way to print, so I will print them out for you. And then your teacher will also get the results so he can see what standards we need to focus on a little more and what you guys are understanding really well and what you might be struggling with. Any questions? Yes.
Do we come here or do we go sit there?
No, so this is 5th period, right? So you guys are scheduled for 1st period tomorrow morning. Okay? So already you have all been excused from periods 1, 2, and those who need extra time, period 3. Today, on average, I would say it took people like 35, 40 minutes to take the test, and those that needed a little extra time, maybe like an hour, 10, 15 minutes. So no, when you get to school tomorrow, come right to the 800s. Bypass here. Again, you've already been excused. Your attendance should reflect that. If you're absent, don't stress. We have until March 20th to get everyone in, but tomorrow is the date we have selected for you guys. Okay? In addition to your digital game test, everyone in CTE who is at the 3rd level, you guys will also take a workplace readiness test. I'm going to give you a break because some of you just took ACT and then you're taking this test. So maybe end of next week, if not the beginning of the week before. But I'll give your teacher that schedule hopefully by Monday. Okay? Same thing, 100 questions, 60 minutes on the computer. We'll test in that room. Easy breezy. The ACT is a separate test. No, this is on the laptop. It is not paper pencil. It is still a test where you can't talk to anyone. I'm going to ask for your cell phones to be turned off. We're going to put them in the backpacks. Put the backpacks in the front of the room. When you're done, you can leave. You don't have to, it's not like ACT where we have to wait for every single person to get done. Okay? Yes.
You have to pass that?
I need you to take the test. If you get above the cut score, you will then be eligible for CSN college credit. The cut scores are different for each program of study. I will also give that information to Mr. Torres so he can talk to you guys about that. I met with the CSN lady a week or so ago, and she's more than willing to come back and talk to all of our kids who have passed to then get that going. Whether you're going to go to CSN or not, because that credit can then transfer and. Any other questions?
You know, like, that's one part.
If you give me a minute, I will look it up. Yep, I have it on my phone. Okay, I'm gonna pass these out. It's just a reminder. Up at the top, it says, please report to room 810 on Friday the 28th at 7:10 for CTE testing. Okay, so you're either gonna be at 810 or 801. Just come to that area and we'll divide you up. We're really just gonna fill you in because there's too many here for one room. All right, either myself or Mr. Cervantes will give you this. Don't lose it. If you do it, that's okay too. Don't forget tomorrow morning, come to 8:10 to test. Arturo. Arturo. Oh yeah, they're all. Jacob Jones. Moises Rodriguez. Angelica Lamas. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with
Can I have her?
Can you have Angelica?
After you give her her paperwork?
Yeah,
I mean, that's up there.
yeah. She told me. Good pass.
Christian Morales. Christian, come make favor.
Michael.
Luis.
What was something?
Luis. Sorry. Katarina. Caesar.
Kristen,
Yanir.
Andrew.
That one's yours. We'll see you in the morning. You are Katrina? Is it Katrina or Katarina? Katrina. Caesar!
No, I didn't.
Sorry, are you Caesar? Caesar? Justin! Michael! Justin Michael. Michael Rowland. Justin Jonathan. Jaden. And Omar. Which one are you? You are Jonathan. You are Omar. You are Jaden. I love that. I'm sorry. Everyone's here. Well, enjoy third period tomorrow. I'm trying to make this where it's during that time, but I can't. We would have done fifth period tomorrow, except we don't fire tomorrow, and.
Oh, wait, you mean fifth period?
This class is testing first tomorrow.
Oh, they're,
But
gotcha,
third
yeah.
is testing third.
I
I couldn't do this in the afternoon.
Gotcha. So is there anyone coming who is in my class?
You have that one kid in third period who's not testing, and that girl, if I don't get her testing by tomorrow, she'll be. But other than that, third period, you'll have her in.
Okay.
But then they'll be done by the time. Okay, guys, and one more time, any more questions? If you want to study a little bit, go to the Nevada Department of Ed CTE website. I just Google it, so just Google it. You can click on the digital game design standards. That's what you're being tested on. Okay, so Mr. Torres can maybe point you in the right direction, but it's just CTE standards. All right, I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow morning, 7:10, 8:10, or 8:01. Just come to that area and we'll get you in a room. All right? See you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we cross everyone off? I'll take
I
that.
heard Omar.
Do you have any passes? You're out, so I think everyone's here.
You're all here.
Did you take attendance? Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
It's full service.
All right, I'm gonna keep this.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
What? You want CCSE Digital Game Standards. Okay. All righty then. All right, are there any other questions on that? Are you ready to move on? No. Are you doing the old lesson? We're not on that part yet. I did it. You went ahead? That's fine. We're gonna get to that. All right. Okay, guys. What we just did is we put AI Wander here. All right. SpongeBob memes are great, but to be honest, what you're doing is really disrespectful, and it makes it very difficult for me to teach. Okay? All of the meowing and stuff and playing audio is very, very rude and means that I have to repeat myself. So should we just call the lesson quits right now? You guys don't want to work? Okay, or you keep playing stuff and interrupting me? Because it makes it really hard for me to teach. You understand that, right? If you were teaching, it'd be difficult if somebody kept turning up audio or playing music in the middle of your lesson. I'm asking you a question. Would that be difficult for you? It would be? I guess everybody else would be fine with that. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it, and I think it's disrespectful. So, if you want to continue actually act like adults and babies and follow along the lesson and not be rude, then I would sit here and be quiet and actually do the lesson instead of being disruptive, which is what several of you are choosing to do. That's it. That's what I'm saying. So will you please grant me that? I would choose to continue teaching you what I know on how to make video games if you're respectful. If not, we can make this just a wild lab class and you can just fail it and do whatever you want. But I really need respect. Okay? We're going to continue the lesson, and we're going to see if you can maintain respect for the duration of the lesson. All right. AI Wander. Here we have this. We've completed our code. This is its own body of code. It's fine as is. Nothing actually triggers it, though. We need to trigger it at the beginning of the game. There's an event at the beginning of the game. That event is called what? Event Begin Play. Right-click and look up Event Begin Play. Drag off of Begin Play and call your custom event called AI Wander. Now, maybe we don't want all of our AIs actually wandering around the world. We want some to stay in place, stay put. This is good for like quest givers and stuff, right? If they're giving a quest, we don't want them to be wandering off and getting lost. So we're going to add a setting here that allows the game, allows us as game designers to decide who can wander and who can't. So we're going to do that in the form of a variable. Toward the bottom left, click plus variable. So bottom left, choose plus variable. Name the variable stay in place. Bottom left, new variable, name it stay in place. Bottom left, plus variable, name the variable stay in place. All right, I also want you to make sure that stay in place is a public variable. So open up the eyeball icon on stay in place. So you made a new variable, you name it stay in place, and you choose the eyeball icon. You open it up so that it stays in place. Now drag stay in place onto your graph. By the way, it's a Boolean variable. Make sure that the type is Boolean. So the variable type should be Boolean. Drag that onto your graph. Choose get stay in place. Drag off of that variable and look up branch, B-R-A. And connect begin play to the front of branch. So what this is, this variable is going to be a setting that we check mark to true or false. If stay in place is check mark to true, is the guy going to move or not move? Right? We don't want him to move because we're saying, hey, yes, stay in place. But if we leave it unchecked, then he's allowed to wander around your world. So this is how we make that setting. So do we want AI wander to come off of the true or the false branch? False. False branch, right? Because you're saying, hey, if stay in place is false, don't stay in place, wander. So drag in false into the front of AI wander. That's it for the coding part. There's one more thing we want to do on our NPC, which is our NPCs right now run at full speed. And we don't want, it doesn't look natural. We want them to just walk to the waypoints and take their time. So let's change the speed of our NPCs. On the left, character movement component. Click on character movement on the left. Top left, character movement. Click on it. In the details panel on the right side, look up walk speed. That's how fast the guy moves. And set walk speed from 600 to 150. Set the max walk speed, is what it's called, to 150. Once you've done that, hit compile and go back to the front of Unreal. There's one more important thing that we need to put in our world before any of this is going to work, and that's called a nav mesh. A nav mesh is like the brain of an NPC. It figures out where all the obstacles are so that he knows to walk around this table, for example, if he needs to get to a far off waypoint. Nav mesh is just a box. You're going to get this from the left modes panel. So on the left where it says modes, type in NAV, and drag out nav mesh bounds volume. That's what it's called. It's just a box. What you're going to do with that box is you're going to stretch and scale that box so that it fills out the whole area where the NPCs can walk. So scale your box so the NPCs are inside it, the waypoints are inside it. And press the P key on your keyboard. P for path. When you press P, the ground will turn green. And you can press P to turn that off. Don't make your nav mesh as big as the whole landscape. A lot of people do that and their game starts to lag. Okay, it's going to make your game lag if you make it enormous. However, if you want more areas for your NPCs to go, what I like to do is make another nav mesh like this, and then have a small nav mesh that bridges the area between, which is kind of cool because this will force the NPCs, if there's a waypoint over here, to have to take this path. Now that should work. There's one more thing I want you to do just real quick because I forgot. Go back to your code where you have AI move to. There's that on success that gets triggered on AI move to, but there's also on fail. On fail gets triggered if the area you're supposed to go to is in some impossible location. If it's in an impossible location, on fail will get triggered. Well, since nothing is plugged in on fail, that means that the guy is just never going to move again. We don't want that. If on fail gets triggered, we want him to go look for another waypoint, and another one, and another one. So drag off of on fail and look up AI wander. So call AI wander on fail. All right, if you've done all that, hit play, and you should have wandering NPCs.